And we should be live. Welcome nerds and turds to another live stream repair. We've got 2.5 HomePods to fix here today. Just a real quick apologies for any of the background noise over here. I'm just keeping an eye on the kid while the wife takes a quick nap. So we'll go ahead and jump right into our repairs, and I hope you guys enjoy newborn ASMR. Anyways, Lorenzo's here is up first with no power. So we're going to go ahead and double check our symptoms, take a look at the power draw, and then we can take our guesses as to what's wrong before we take this apart and do a little bit of diagnosis. So here's our power cable. We'll go ahead and plug that in. Wait a few seconds and then tap the top a few times and see if it does anything. And sure enough, we don't see any response. Our power draw is looking at around 6 watts, which is what we expect to see with the most common failure mode with these pods, being that no power issue. This is usually caused with that kind of power draw. We usually see that Schottky barrier diode on the amp failing and causing all these issues. So let's go ahead and take this apart, get down to that amp there, and we will see what is wrong. Nice. Really? Is that so? Yeah, I know. I know, you're just a little gremlin, aren't you? Now that's not true. Listen here, child. Yeah, these are called screws. It's what Apple should have just stuck with instead of gluing the thing together, too. Yeah, I know. Gross. Chell's grumpy that Apple glued HomePods together. That was a fart. Oh, yeah. You see that, my child? That is how you open a HomePod. You are a surprisingly heavy sleeper. Okay, woofer check. Looking inside of our inspection port there, the voice coil's got a nice color to it and it's not burnt or unevenly colored. Actuation is nice and smooth. Oh, yes. Smells like a good subwoofer. I know. No, I'm not letting you smell it. No, don't grump at me. Listen, you're too young to be exposed to the risks of cancer. You gotta wait till you're 18 to make those choices. I know. Okay, here, you take this. There you go. The baby is pacified until she spits it back out again. Yeah, little piggy. Alright, that might be a screw for the big boy. We'll give it one more try here. Yeah, that sucker's glued in there. Meet your maker. So we don't have any reason to suspect the power supply is bad. If we go ahead and poke the diode on the amp here, we can confirm it's dead. If my meter works, There we go. Yep, that diode is dead, so let's get that amp out. Oh, she got her arms out of her swaddle. They're wiggling around. What are you gonna do with those hands? Alright, the star of the show. Here's our amp, and if we switch cameras, there's our diode. And our diode has a date code of 1748K right there. We also saw that it was shorted with our multimeter, so let's get that diode replaced and our amp should turn on. Come on. Yeah, 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 yeah. We got him. Here's a new diode. Let's get that diode prepped. Slap some flux on the board while we're here. It won't hurt anything. For those curious, yes, I did get a HEPA filter in here now, so I don't have to worry about giving myself or the kid cancer anymore with our cheap $20 Guard Talk fume box. Here we go. Look at how crooked that is. Yuck. We will let the magic of surface tension fix that for us. We'll just give it a few taps, kind of give it a little bit of an assist, and it'll line itself up. We got some free ballers. Let's get rid of those. We don't got room for no free ballers here. But that looks solid. So let's chuck this board together real quick and see if it powers on and if there are any other issues we need to take care of. Spicy. All right. Let's see what it's got. Power. Folks, while we're waiting for this to boot up, I'll go ahead and ask you kindly to leave a like if you enjoy our live streams, if you enjoy our repairs. If you don't like it, hey, leave a dislike and let me know why. I love to change the setup and tweak things around and make improvements wherever we can. So just let me know, yeah? What do we got here? We've got our base. We heard the Siri prompt there. And we've got 0 volts of DC offset. It's fluttering between 0 and 1 millivolts. At the end of the day, if we've got less than 50 millivolts of DC offset, we'll call that within spec and everything looks great. So let's put all these parts off and put this pod back together. Hey Derek, welcome to the stream. I'm glad you could make it. And rest assured, if we screw it up, which we have in the past, we've got the parts to fix it and the skill to catch it. Let's zoom back on in there, get real close, make sure we're focused on there. Oh, it won't let me focus if I'm that zoomed in. Interesting. How about now? Yes. Really? You gonna let it out? You letting them know? Chell said, I wish Apple sold HomePod parts. Fabi guessed it right. It was a fried diode. That's like 9 out of every 10, if not more, of these no power repairs is all that same freaking diode. And usually that's all that's wrong. We don't see any DC offset or anything else damaged. On occasion we do see ones with no power that also had DC offset, so most likely the owner just didn't notice the popping get louder and louder and only noticed a problem when it stopped powering on. So the issues are completely unrelated, but you can have one pod with, multiple different issues. It's like a car, yeah? You can have a flat tire and a low compression on the cylinder. But you may not notice the low compression if you've got enough cylinders to compensate for it, yeah? Some people just don't notice certain issues, or it just doesn't bother them, or maybe they've got it in an environment where they wouldn't hear issues with it per se. Balls. Yeah, who knows? And the kind of like the saving grace about this issue is there's no harm in just waiting for it to eventually happen. It's not going to kill anything else when it does fry. It wouldn't be a good idea to continue leaving it plugged in because it is a short and it is shorting through multiple components, and that's where the heat's coming from. But the failure itself generally doesn't cause any other issues. So it's pretty safe to just not worry about it until it happens to you. There's also the fact that we've only seen these diodes with certain date codes failing, so there is a chance that yours doesn't even have a diode that's part of that, what we suspect to be a bad batch. Other issues like the popping, if the popping sounds are getting much louder, or death farts, those are the kind of issues you want to immediately unplug it from power and get them fixed. Oh, yeah, we got all the screws in there. This is what happens when you talk and work at the same time. You start losing track of both what you're saying and what you're doing. Nice. The child is awakened. Probably to pass some gas and then pass back out. That's her routine. Wake up, grunt, pass gas, go back to sleep. Make gremlin noises. Yeah. The faces she makes are absolutely hilarious. Yeah, it's our first little girl, first baby. And today is actually their 2-week birthday. Yeah. Yeah, she's going. Those legs are skyscraping. Yeah, I never could have guessed or thought what it would be like when she came and what it was like seeing her eyes for the first time and all that. It's just, oh man. I'd do anything for her. I have a brand new in the box, even in the shipping box, unopened, original Apple HomePod. And I'm saving it for you so that one day we'll sell it for your college fund. Oh, and thank you. The wife did all the hard work, of course. Yeah, they're worth more than they were when they were released as is now. It's crazy. People pay a hefty premium for those unopened ones. And the longer you wait, the harder it's going to be to update them because they're most likely shipping and still in the box with the original release software. So that's a hell of an update to go through, all the way up to 16. Although that's also why people pay the premium for unopened ones, because they know it comes with usually the original software and they explicitly don't update them because they believe that a specific version of the software works and sounds better than another version. I personally don't buy any of that baloney without graphs. Give me the graphs. Prove to me that there's an objectively different sound in software versions. You have to record that and then compare them. Show me the graphs and I'll believe you. But until then, maybe every once in a while they may have tweaked it a little bit, but I don't believe that they make any significant changes, because if they did, they run the risk of upsetting a whole bunch of people that were happy with the way that the sound was before. Perhaps a small differences here and there, but I don't believe there were ever any major changes. And let's be honest with ourselves. You can't buy this and then say that you own an audiophile speaker. Yes, these sound damn good. And I still firmly believe that even at this price point, there is nothing that comes close to the size and performance and just the raw sound that these can produce. But I'm not sure if I could quite call it audiophile. Not necessarily because of the audio quality, but I'm kind of reaching for straws here and thinking more along the lines of, the things aside from just the sound, like how you can connect and play music to it. And that it dings some points there for me personally. Chell agrees. She said, yeah, Dad's right. And you're just going to have to take my word for it like some God-whispering clairvoyant. I agree. Siri still sucks hardcore. 100% agree. For our wedding, speaking of original iPhone, unfortunately it's not sealed. It's quite used, but as a wedding present, my mother-in-law gifted me their original iPhone. Let me put these strings in here and I'll show it off real quick. Try not to kick the child. Here it is. This was actually my wife's first gen iPhone that she used when she was in school until she upgraded and her parents hung on to it, luckily. And it's in good condition. There's no major damage. There's obvious wear and tear. There's some stickers on there, but what do you expect from kids when you give them a phone? But yeah, no, that's a hell of a wedding gift. My tummy is making the rumblies. The 3G and the 3GS were probably hands down the best iPhone ever made. And in terms of both like redesign, design in general, and do you mind? Thank you. And just the performance bump. I remember when I had a 3G and got my dad's 3GS and had them both jailbroken, and just the difference in amount of RAM and CPU performance was nuts. It was night and day. You know, when you're waiting for Cydia to index all of the packages and update all the repos. Huge difference. And then Apple killed them with more software updates. Hey, does anybody else remember paying money for iOS updates? I remember. What a wild time of our lives was that. I was just a kid. And I scrounged together what was it, like $5 or $6 or some shit like that to update my, I think it was a 2nd gen iPod Touch refurb. 2nd or 3rd gen, I can't remember. It was one generation behind my best friend, because I remember being jealous of him having the newer one. Ooh, lucky. Yeah, keeping the scratches off those aluminum backs is like a hell of a task, or a hell of a feat. I was literally just about to say, wow, Chell, you've kept that pacifier in your mouth for almost like a solid 30 minutes now. And as I looked over and opened my mouth to say that, she spit it out. You never cease to entertain me. I can't remember if the paid iOS updates were a US thing or worldwide. What I do remember is if you bought the newer iPhone or iPod, then it came with the newer version of the software. But if you had the older phone or iPod, you had to pay for the update. I think it was like iOS 3 to 4 or 5 to 6. I cannot remember. A quick Google search, I'm sure we'd find it, but I'm a little lazy right now. And busy. Really. Here she goes. She's booting up again. She's going to tell us a story. Yeah. My first ever MP3 player was an Arcos jukebox. And what I remember about that thing was it was basically a laptop hard drive enclosure with an LCD screen on it and a little recorder built in. It had a 1/4-inch input, so you could record an external source. But using the internal microphone to record, what I remember as a kid was just making goofy recordings, but you could also hear the hard drive in the recording because the mic was built into the thing right next to the mechanical hard drive. So yeah, mechanical hard drive sounds always hit the nostalgia for me. Okay, Lorenzo's no power pod. Did we fix it? Yes, we did. Yeah, Chell. Yes, my child. You want your pacifier back? Here you go, little piggy.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. I'm having trouble.
All right. We've got full sound. The volume buttons light up nice and even. So Lorenzo's pod is looking great. Let's put that to the side. Grab our second HomePod here for repair. And let's go ahead and plug that into power so we can double check our symptoms and update the text on our screen there. Nice. Okay, so no response. Same thing as before. 6 watts of power from the wall. So most likely the same exact failure from Lorenzo's pod that we just fixed up here. Let's dig in. The top has some weird marks all around it. Not quite cracks, so we don't have to worry about making those worse, but I thought they were cracked for a second there. Yeah, tell him. Let him know. Just marking it as yours. Well, at least you didn't pee on it to mark it. Could have done that. I haven't had any, well no, I take that back. I have had some that looked like someone pissed all over it. And I have had some that smelled like it too. But that could be anything. That could just be someone living in a house full of cats that gets stinky. Oh, snow cones! Oh, they don't come in yellow. That's a special. That is the custom special yellow. We use a very special dye for the yellow. Gives it a nice hue. Alright, come on. I'm not playing games. There we go. Oh, she got fully out. How'd you do that? Do I need to wrap you back up? Come here. Come here, child. Yeah. Oh, I know. It's almost time to feed you. Yeah? I'm gonna put you back down for now. I'm gonna put you back down for now. Behave. We've got a few. We've got just the manual blanket. We've got a really nice like zip up one. Oh, it's so easy to put on her. It's from it's from Swaddle Me. Really like it. And then yeah, we've got one with Velcro on it too, which honestly I don't really like the Velcro one too much, but don't spit it back out. Don't do it. Ooh, I am getting hungry. Yeah. Go. Yeah. The thing you gotta sometimes worry about with, well, I guess any of the swaddles, not just the Velcro ones, but you gotta make sure that they can't, like it doesn't ride up into their face and suffocate them. Poor things don't even breathe out of their mouth for the first bit. They only breathe through their nose. Yeah. She's letting you know. Oh boy, this one's gonna be tough, huh? Chell, why don't you help out? Come on. There's no give. No give. So we're just gonna have to play hardball, huh? Yeah. If at first you don't succeed, try harder. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Brother, did you have this apart before me and super glue it back together? I'm gonna have to. Oh, jeez. I'm gonna break a sweat getting this one open. You want to work out? Fix HomePods. All right, Chell. You grab this half. I'm gonna grab this half, and we're gonna pull it apart together. No? Fine. Yeah, same. Almost got it. Come on. Oh. Yeah, same. I know. I know. I didn't like that one either. Yeah, now she's just making fun of me. Oh, you spit it back out. Here you go. Ouch. She's gonna grump. She's grumping. Why are you grumpy? What you grumping for? What you grumping for? Your mouth is all gross. You need to wipe down. Yeah. Now, if you can wait 14 more minutes, Mom will wake up and feed you. And change you. And swaddle you back up. Damn, that top bit me back. Really? Really? Oh, I know. Life is so hard. Wait till you gotta pay taxes. Alright. First look at the woofer. Looks good. Feels good. Smells good. So that is a happy subwoofer. What are you doing? Yeah. Unnecessary amount of glue. If you're gonna glue it together, at least don't do this. Don't do it. Oh, you lost it again, huh? Let me help you. I shall help you, child. There you go. She is rolling. Come here. Calm down. It's okay. It's okay. Oh, your poor little tummy's grumbling. I'm so sorry. I know. All right. I'm going to put you back down. Be good. Nice. Okay. Let's take a closer look at that diode and double check that it's what we expect here. Dead. 1746K for the date code if you were curious, so I think we all know what to expect. Listen here. Alright, dead diode. Let's replace it. Don't do it. Don't do it. I got you. Yeah, hold on 1 second. All right, that looks pretty fantastic. Let's pop this together real quick and make sure it doesn't have any other issues. Ah. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. All right. Power. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Hey, listen, folks. 1 like equals $1 to her college fund. So, like now, donate today, and maybe, just maybe, we'll send her to college. She said, "No, I don't want to go to college." I know. I know. Here. I know. Life is so hard. Yeah? Yeah, you're letting them know? Just don't tell them. Yeah. Down you go. Be good. Mom will be up in like 4 minutes, okay? Alright, do we have any issues? So we are 60 millivolts of offset. That's barely just too much there. So this needs new filters. Let's go ahead and give it to them, and then we'll put this thing back together. Yeah, anything more than 50 millivolts. Hey. Anything more than 50 millivolts of DC offset we don't like. Yeah, I know. And then you kick it out, huh? You're such a grumper. You're such a grumper. Easy peasy. Not so easy with the kid on your lap, but we got him. Oh yeah, you look so happy now. Yeah, you just wanted to be held. That's okay. I gotcha. How did you get into repairing these units? I've never worked for Apple. This is mostly just purely out of a passion and love for these speakers, to be honest. I personally enjoy these speakers so much, and I believe so much that these are such a great little speaker that I wanted to figure out how to keep them going for as long as I could, which meant taking them apart and figuring out how to fix what goes wrong with them. And I noticed once I started figuring these issues out that there wasn't any other information out there, nobody offering repairs for them, but people willing to pay for it. So, long story short, I went around social media and different places on the internet looking for people complaining about their broken pods, and essentially at the start I offered to just fix them for the cost of shipping. And then once I gained more experience and confidence in it, I started charging money for those repairs. But it's mostly just out of my personal passion for these things. They're fantastic. I love them so much. And I can only imagine that other people feel at least the same way, if not more, about them. And it's really sad that there's just nobody or no options out there when your $300+ speaker blows up because of a $1 diode. It's sad. There we go. Oh, those need pushed over a little bit. Oh, I didn't even switch the camera. Sorry about that, folks. I have taken a Mini apart, but they're just so cheap that it doesn't make sense to offer repairs for them for the cost that I would need to charge to make it worth my time. You may as well just take that money and buy another used one. But I've taken the Mini apart. That's what this guy is right here, actually. This speaker is from this Mini. And I've bought a few broken ones, and all but this one, all I needed to do was plug them into my Mac and restore them, and they started turning on again. That one just boot loops, and it doesn't show up as recovery mode. It won't let me restore. It's just cooked. Oh man, I'm getting the real hunger shakes now. We gotta wrap this one up. Luckily, Jeff's pod here with no power, the last one that we're gonna work on here today, is just the board. So we won't need to do any disassembly and reassembly. We can just jump right into the board and get it fixed. Alright, show me the money. Yeah, alright, you little gremlin. I'm gonna give you to Mom so you can get changed and fed. Let's go wake up Mommy. Say goodbye. I'm almost almost done. Okay, what does this have now? Very nice. That's what we like to see, less than 50 millivolts. So, got our power issue fixed. We prevented the DC offset issue from growing and causing problems in the near future. This one's ready to put back together. Every time I look at my email inbox, I have like 5 more unread emails. I need to hire somebody just to handle these things. Jeez. Yes, I have a day job. I am a sales engineer for a local software company, but I pretty much handle most of the technical issues and integrations with our sales team. I don't like to sell, but I like to fix stuff, obviously. And then we just fix HomePods here on the channel here in our free time. Well, again, free time. I kind of have to make time. But isn't that life? Yep, that's my motto. If it exists, it will break. You can invent and create and hire all the robots and automation in the world to take over all these less than ideal jobs. But someone's going to need to fix those bots. And if you've got bots to fix the bots, well, someone's going to need to fix the bot fixing bots. So get handy. Thanks for dropping by, Fabi. Have a good rest. Good chat. And I couldn't agree with that more. They do not make stuff like they used to. I know, old man yelling at sky, but seriously, like, why is it that my 40-plus-year-old Japanese sports car is the one that's more reliable and on the road more than my 2004 Impala Chevrolet, than my 2006 Audi A3, or my 2001 Saab 9.5? The Nissan beats them all every time. Always have issues with the other cars, but the Z, if it's not my knucklehead blowing the motor from pushing too much power, then it stays on the road. Much better than the other cars. And all my family, some of my family members bought newer cars, and they constantly tell me all the problems that they have with them. And I'm just chilling in my car that's older than I am. Cruising along. Not a problem. Don't get me started about appliances and stuff too. Like, one of the big reasons why shit just doesn't last as long as it used to is because companies keep cramming all these half-assed features into their products. And so now you don't have just one thing that can break, you have multiple things that can break. And if those things affect each other, then you're just effing yourself. I want to buy a product or an appliance or a thing that does the one thing I want it to do, and I want it to do it reliably and well. Oh yeah, when I was a kid, one of my favorite memories is like going to the mechanic with my parents, and they would drop the car off, and you could sit in the lobby and watch them work on your car while you wait. And I thought that was really cool. Simple and cool. And always wanted to have my own little repair shop. Smash the two together. And there you go. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Get on the floor and jam. What is the model of your screwdriver? This is the Miniware ES15 motion control screwdriver. It has an internal battery, and it lasts for at least 7 to 10 HomePods before it starts to give up the beans. But I have it plugged in all the time just because that's my favorite thing about it, is the fact that it'll let you charge it and keep it plugged in while using it. So I tend to just leave it plugged in, so I've always got the full power that it can give. Love the thing. Great little screwdriver. Bit of a learning curve getting used to the motion control, but you can always turn that off and always set the button to be a static direction one way or the other. And it's got buttloads of settings, from changing the torque level to the speed. It's got an impact mode too, which I think is pretty crazy for a tiny little screwdriver. Haven't tried it yet. It is not cheap though. I think these are like at least $100. But the quality, you can feel it in the quality. It's really well put together, and every little bit of it comes apart. This unscrews, this unscrews, this unscrews, and you can essentially take it apart and replace or repair any part of it. And I'm sure the manufacturer would be more than happy to send you a replacement part instead of having you ship it to them fix it and waste their time and what have you, and then ship it back. Someone's calling me. Spam risk. This is Nick.
Travel. You were referred by a friend or family member to receive a complimentary all-inclusive stay in a 5-star hotel. For further details, press 0 now. If you wish to be put...
Thank you for holding. My name is Alex. How are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing good myself, sir. In the motive of today's call, we have a promotion going on for vacation packages. It is a buy one and get one free. And if interested in traveling, I will give you the full details. Now, if you do not vacation, I will not take any more of your time, sir.
Oh, yeah, sure. Oh, by the way, my name is Ben Chode. You want to waste my time? I'll waste yours. Get a real job. I'd love to do scam baiting. That would be fun. A fun little series. I don't think I'm quite as good as the name brand channels out there that do it. But I can have a little fun with them, why not? Yeah, that's my problem. I'm horrible at trying to keep them on the phone. I blow it too fast and too soon. Got to keep them engaged and on the hook. I need a voice changer too, because I'm sure they hear a young person's voice and already have me half discredited by that time. Oh yeah. All right. You don't need to heat these parts up to stick them back together, but the heat is definitely going to soften that adhesive up and make it a little stickier, so that when we put this back on, it's on there. It's probably not quite as good as from the factory, but it's going to be a hell of a lot better than just slapping it back on there cold. And it'll last a lot better in shipping and transit as well. So we give it a little kiss of heat to soften that adhesive up and make it nice and sticky again. So here's our power. Let's plug it in, smack it around, and there you go. We'll wait for it to boot up and just do our quick checks. All right.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
Woo!
I'm having trouble.
I'm sure you are, bud. And our volume buttons light up nice and even. So this pod all checks out and it's ready to rock. Ugh. All right. With that out of the way, let's update the text on our screen and break out our last repair here, which should be a pretty easy, straightforward one, since we've just got the board here. And yes, if you were curious, I don't suggest it, but if you feel confident in taking apart your own HomePod and diagnosing what's wrong with it, but you just don't feel like you're ready for the actual repair, the board repair itself, you're more than welcome to take your own pod apart, send in the part that needs to be repaired, and we'll give you half off normal repairs. So pretty sweet deal. And it saves me a bunch of time. Usually. All right. It's my pleasure, Derek. Always my pleasure. So here we've got Jeff's board that does not power on. He said that he already checked to confirm that the diode was shorted out. Let's go ahead and double check that ourselves. Trust no one. Double check everything. Never trust someone's previous work either. You always want to go over everything yourself and double check everything. And yep, he did good. That diode is definitely dead. And he also sent in his display because he was concerned about when he was taking it apart, he accidentally got in between that plastic layer and the PCB for the display that I warn you guys about. But it happens. You know, people still do it on accident. Until you do it a few times, it's kind of hard to tell just by feel if you're under the right layer or not. But let's go ahead and take a quick look here. Looks like the ambient light sensor got broken off. I'll show you guys up close here what that looks like. So there it is. And this is usually what happens when people get in between these two layers, and this is why I tell people just to pull this whole unit up as a single assembly. Get underneath the PCB, not under the plastic on this. But that said, you're most likely just going to break off your ambient light sensor here. And what happens then is your your brightness, whenever the display or the volume buttons are illuminated, they're just going to be at full brightness without any brightness control. Aside from that, generally, these displays are pretty tough, and it's not going to affect the functionality otherwise. So we're going to fix his amp board here, and then we are going to test the display and make sure that it still works aside from the automatic brightness. And then we'll let Jeff decide if he just wants to reuse his existing display without the automatic brightness, or if he wants to buy one off of us, and yeah, we'll get him taken care of. So, but first of course, let's get our star of the show fixed here. That diode has a date code of 1748K on it, so if you've been watching our repairs for long enough, you shouldn't be surprised. Thanks for dropping by, Derek. You will hear from me shortly after the stream, and we'll get payment squared away and shipping it back to you by tomorrow. And thank you, and have a happy new year. Yes, it'll be full brightness whenever it's on. It's not going to be on all the time. It's not like it's going to break the display and keep it always on. But when it is normally on, it's just going to be at full brightness. One of my first pods that I took apart for myself and fixed up, I did that myself. And I still use it with the busted ambient light sensor to this day. It's full brightness, but it doesn't bother me. It actually sits up higher than my head, even when I'm standing where it's placed, so I don't even see the display lighting up. I don't think Apple moved to a better diode. There was probably just a bad batch of them. And yeah, so only the ones with that date code on there seem to be the ones that fail. So there really isn't much reason for them to move to a better diode per se, at least based on our speculation. If it's just a bad batch of diodes, then replace them. Move on from the bad batch. Live your life. But we all know Apple. Apple loves to not take responsibility for their problems. So we may never see Apple acknowledge these problems, ever. Just because it wasn't as popular of a product as many of their other products are, so there's just simply fewer people to complain about the problems, and thus less weight behind them, and a way to bring them to some accountability. Okay. So, we know for sure, we don't need to worry about the fact that Jeff didn't send in his power supply and his logic board and all that, because we did confirm the diode was bad. So we can all but say for 100% certain that that was the only issue causing their power issues. I've never seen or done a repair where no power has been caused by more than one thing. It's always been one thing that's shorted out or blown up or whatever. So we don't need to worry about the fact that we don't have Jeff's power supply or logic board. We're going to go ahead and pop in our power supply here, bring in our logic board, and see if this amp powers on, if it's got any other issues. And we're also going to try their display out here. Make sure it's still working. All right, that'll do. Let's see what it's got. All right. So the display works. Its touch sensitivity works. We'll wait for this to boot up and just make sure that it fully boots up and produces sound and shows the animation and responds to touch the way we expect it to. What do we got? So about 13 to 15 millivolts of offset there. Perfectly acceptable. Yeah, she's not happy when you poke her too much. Alright, so the display animates fine. Let's see if we can get it to play some music. There's nothing in my music library. Play some music. Oh wait, I don't have the microphone connected. Shit. You know what? Fine. Let me bump some bass from my phone. Wow, that was fast. Volume buttons work. Yep. Pause. Play. Awesome. So no issues here. Their display works fine aside from being full brightness whenever it's on. It's powering on, it's producing bass, and we don't have any excess DC offset here. So this one looks like it's ready to rock. And with that, that is all that we have to fix here today. If you guys have any questions about any of the repairs that we've done here today or HomePod repairs in general, feel free to leave a comment down below. If you're looking for more information, kind of like a self-service, give me more info, I don't want to bother you kind of thing, I've got a whole bunch of information on my website, nixfix.com, with a dedicated section for all the common issues we repair, steps to diagnose and repair those issues, and the parts you need to do that. I've also got my contact info up on my website. If instead of trying it yourself or if you get stuck along the way, you can send it in to be repaired here on the channel. Hope you all nerds enjoyed watching.